Do not drive through floodwaters. This is a public service announcement. I'll say it again. Do not drive through floodwaters. And for those of you so stupid that you actually consider doing it to begin with, I'm going to say it one more time, but really slowly. Do not drive through floodwaters. We had a bunch of rain here last week, and parts of the road flooded. Crazy, crazy thing. It rained a lot, and there was water on top of the road where it's not supposed to be. Normally, we don't keep our water on top of roads around here, but that day we did. And everybody got on social media and they were like, hey, it's flooding at the corner of such and such. And then everybody else was like, can I still drive through it? And the first people were like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. What? We live in Asheville. Can anyone think of anything in recent memory that might make you want to reconsider driving through floodwaters? It's fine. It's fine. It's only a couple of inches. They literally got on Reddit and they're like, yeah, there's some flooding on Broadway. It's only a couple of inches deep. You'll be fine. Just drive right through. No. Do you know what has happened? The floodwaters have washed away the orange cones that they put there on Broadway, where I drive every day. They put them there because 5 months ago we had a hurricane here and the shoulder is undercut by the floodwaters. And you know what you can't see through? Floodwaters. So now some out-of-towner from Florida drives their damn Lexus down Broadway right next to the river and gets swept away. Not my problem. You know what? No, Darwin. We will all be stronger as a species. Well, no, because they were probably too old to reproduce. This is the Gribley's Folly Sunday Antisocial Hour. That time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. And if you have an itching, burning, throbbing, distended question for me, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag AskGribs, and I will answer any question from any part of the filth that is humanity. I said the other day I hadn't made an antisocial because I was busy. I was trying to take care of my people, and that is true. That is true. But also there comes a point where the antisocial is so antisocial, I don't really want to say it publicly anymore. And that's not my fault. I have not changed. I am who I am. People get stupider. CBS News, mystery illness in Congo kills more than 50 people, including children who ate a bat. How old are these children? Are they younger than 5? Because then maybe, like if they're all orphans younger than 5, I could maybe understand that they wouldn't know what can come from eating a bat. And I know that there are areas of the world where food insecurity is a thing. But is it really so insecure you have to eat a bat? Right? You're all out of like mulch and tree bark. So you eat what? Have you ever seen a bat? Who wants to eat a bat? According to the WHO's Africa office, the first outbreak began in the town of Boloko after 3 children ate a bat and died within 48 hours following hemorrhagic fever symptoms. 3 children ate 1 bat? How big was the bat? Okay, all right. Let's suppose 3 blind, deaf orphans that also can't read Braille didn't know what happens when you eat bats, and they have never seen a bat because they're blind, and so, no one can hear bats, and so it doesn't matter that they're deaf. All right, just blind or... You see what I mean? You see, I can't post this. The point is, even if I can't be mad at the children themselves because they're children, which I don't think should be a rule, but whatever, I can be mad at their parents. And if I can't be mad at their parents because everyone in the Congo is starving, I can be mad at the rest of the world for leaving people with no other options other than bat burritos. We deserve what we get. We deserve what we get. That is the lesson of 2025 so far. There's a measles outbreak in Texas. Y'all, we beat measles like 70 years ago. But I'm doing a family history deep dive right now. This is off topic, but in the 1830s, my ancestors were writing to each other about how not to get measles. In the 1830s! We're coming up on 200 years since my ancestors were like, hey, Joe Bob down the road, they all got measles, so we're not going to go over there for the potluck this week. This is science, but it is not rocket science. The lay people can understand. This week, I am smoking my Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman gifted to me by Fireplug 1701D, and in it, I am smoking very, very dry Beck's Old Limey Bastard. The tobacco is so dry that when I scoop it out of my pouch gifted to me by John Galdieri, I cannot compress the tobacco any further. It's like sand. Which brings us to our first Ask Gribbs question. Please answer this question for me. And yes, I know it is irritating and redundant and subjective. These are my favorite kinds of questions. I smoked a pipe decades ago and gave up for many reasons. I have become interested again, but do not have a clue what tobacco I should start with. I have Googled recommend pipe tobaccos for a new smoker. This is your problem. Because Google now uses AI to answer these questions, you are asking the Terminator what he likes to smoke. Trying to choose something is like going to Baskin-Robbins 5,000 flavors and having 300 kinds of vanilla. It's baffling. I did try Lane 1Q and was underwhelmed, though many people gushed over it. A good burley, Virginia, English. Lane 1Q is the Honda Civic of pipe tobacco. It's very adequate. People are going to unsubscribe. People are unsubscribing right now. It's just, what is it even? Is it vanilla flavor? Is it one of the 300 kinds of vanilla? Is it brandy? It's like, you know how people argue over what the flavoring in Carter Hall is? Is it chocolate? Is it bourbon? Is it some vague whiskey? We don't know. It's Carter Hall flavored. It's fruit from the Carter Hall tree. Anyway, Lane 1Q, like Q is an unknown. This is pure math. 1 times unknown is still unknown. If you start out with Burleys, you are playing Russian roulette. Can we say that? Is that a slur now? Okay, you are playing former Tsarist Eastern European roulette. I don't want to insult our new allies. You know, come back when you're ready for peace. But yeah, if you just start choosing Burleys all willy-nilly, you're going to have a bad time. I would suggest, my personal favorites are probably all, I would have said Frogmorton 10 years ago. And then 5 years ago, I would have said Orlik DSK. Here's my recommendation. Boswell's Northwoods will treat you right. It is an English with something extra undergirding it. It's like there's a gird under its loins are girded. The problem with 1Q and all aromatics is that they smoke like hell. You're basically boiling your tobacco in your own spit when you smoke an aromatic. And apparently I'm just committed to losing subscribers today. If you're a new smoker trying to get a hold of the mechanics of smoking a pipe, aromatics are not your friend. They're recommended to everybody because it's like bubblegum, you know? Who doesn't like bubblegum? People with no teeth. That's who. But assuming you have teeth, I think that you can. Boswell's it's not going to knock you down with flavor or nicotine. It's going to be an interesting experience. If you don't like it, it's a good benchmark. You can choose where to go from there. I think it's. Back me up in the comments here. Or argue with me. That's fine too. Next up, Chris Card asks, what is your favorite flower? Whole wheat, I guess? Okay, seriously. Do I look like the kind of guy that knows the names of flowers? Like the extent of my horticultural knowledge is that like on a good day, I can almost recognize the difference between marijuana and watermelons. Tulip. That's my favorite. It's my favorite. That's a flower, right? Or is it a vegetable? Okay, actually, Jack in the Pulpit, but I don't know if that's really a flower. It is known for its unusual flowers, which feature a deep purple to green hood that conceals a club-like spadix covered in tiny flowers. So the flowers are known to be covered in tiny flowers. Thank you, Google AI. At DRW9537 says, I fear accurate and factual history books may soon become a rare or possibly illegal item. It was a pleasure to burn. Grant Reynard says, no more Pop-Tarts, eh? You know, I should bring back the Pop-Tarts because we had an agreement We had an agreement among us that the Pop-Tarts were the dead man's switch. If you no longer saw Pop-Tarts appearing in my videos, you knew that I had been compromised by the deep state. I felt like this was a good inside joke in the time of QAnon, when we all had conspiracy theories bleeding out of our eyes every time we opened the internet. Now, the conspiracy theories are like, they're more popular than just the regular theories? So I don't know if it holds up. Plus, I am clearly, if I'm having to whisper QAnon because YouTube took down one of my videos in which I made a QAnon joke, I'm clearly towing the line of the corporate machine. So yeah, I shouldn't have Pop-Tarts in my videos. I have been compromised. Following up, Grant Reynard asks Gribbs, are there any pets you regret getting? I had an ant farm in 3rd grade. That was a bad move. Blake MDCCCXXVII says, just because the conservative believers want to make their own revelation doesn't mean it's latter anything, because I said latter days in the last video. You know, the thing about that is nobody gets to decide when the latter days are the latter days. And I think if nobody gets to decide, that means I get to decide. The world will go on whether we're here or not. Is that really true? Like, did you hear about the asteroid? The asteroid, right? This, it had like a 0.4% chance, and then they upgraded it to like a 3% chance. That's an order of magnitude, my friends. We're all dead. Don't worry, it's been downgraded now. It's below 1% again, which I'm pretty sure is just Trump taking a Sharpie to the math. Blake says, we gotta keep moving forward and do what we can to take care of ourselves and each other's. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Have you ever carried a rock that big? I can't imagine him happy. My wife got a weighted vest. Her doctor was like, you're a woman. She's like, yeah. He's like, well, women don't have bones anymore, and you should get a weighted vest so your bones that you don't have get stronger. And she's like, okay. So she got a 16-pound weighted vest, and she leaves it on the back of the chair at the kitchen table. And I swear that thing weighs 65 pounds. Like, I'm just trying to clean up the house. And I have to, pick up her vest off the table, and I'm like, oh, shit. No one's ever like, hey, Sisyphus, if you just want better lats, you could wear a weighted vest while you're pushing that big rock up the just a thought. Rafa coming in hot with a question that I absolutely love. New England is to Lovecraft as Appalachia is to... I'm pretty sure Dolly Parton could be an old one. Don't get me wrong. I am not, we shall not speak ill of St. Dolly, but in the right light, total eldritch horror. If you're going to make me pick an actual author, I'm going to say Elmore Leonard. Even though I've never read any of his books, but his name is on the Justified trailer. Also, can we talk about Justified for just a little bit? Can we talk how, look, I've known a couple of U.S. Marshals, and they don't wear cowboy hats, and their wives don't get kidnapped every other week. Like, I don't understand. Maybe I just don't know the right ones. Rafa comes in with the coup de grace. Ask Gribbs. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You've set me up for months and months of arguing with nerds on the internet. Rafa says, I don't know about most of your audience, but I'd benefit from a primer on what the difference between a Stratocaster and other guitars is. Would you play a few different types of guitars for the uninitiated? I would. I cannot play a Stratocaster for you because Stratocasters are terrible and I don't own one. But yes, I can totally do a guitar primer. I think that, I can make a lot of people mad with that video. Ask and you shall receive. That's it's a line from the Bible about the latter days. So I finished up today doing the principal photography for a giant project that I have been working on for 15 years, actually. And I am very excited to be finished with it, which means I'm going to have a little more free time going forward to work on this thing of ours. And my next video coming up is I finally feel ready to do the Helene prepping takeaways video that I have teased a few times now, where I want to talk about what we learned, what we did right, what we did wrong. So I'm putting out a final call. If you have questions and you want to hear anything specific about our time during Helene, now's the time. Let me know. If you've watched to the end of this video and you have Helene prepping questions, I am all ears. And that brings us to the end of the Sunday Antisocial for Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. 2 months of this year have gone by. I keep trying to remember to give the date early in the video, but I've been doing the same spiel for like a million years now, and I haven't yet carved out a neural pathway to remember the date. I think that all of our neural pathways are a little overtrod right now. I hope you are well and safe and holding fast to your values. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.